Meet Sarah, a retired teacher with 200,000 Chase points and 150,000 American Express points, burning a hole in her digital wallet. She's dreaming of a Mediterranean cruise that costs $2,400 in cash. Using her points through Chase's travel portal would cover the entire trip, but she'd be leaving $800 in value on the table. Sound familiar? You're about to discover why the most obvious way to book cruises with points is often the worst, and learn 6 strategies that could save you hundreds or even thousands on your next cruise adventure. The easiest way to book cruises with points is through your credit card's travel portal. Chase Ultimate Rewards gives you 1.25 cents per point, 1.5 cents if you have the Reserve card. American Express offers 0.5 to 0.7 cents per point, and Capital One provides a flat 1 cent per mile. Sounds straightforward, right? Here's the reality check. Remember Sarah's $2,400 cruise? Through Chase's portal with the Sapphire Preferred, she'd need 192,000 points. But that same cruise might cost just 160,000 points if she books it directly and uses a different redemption strategy for ancillary expenses. The portal method appeals to travelers who value simplicity over optimization. You're essentially buying a cruise with points at a fixed rate, which removes the guesswork, but often leaves money on the table. Think of it like exchanging currency at the airport. Convenient, but you'll get a better rate elsewhere. But what if I told you that airline miles, despite seeming like the obvious next choice, might be even worse? On paper, transferring Chase or Amex points to airline partners sounds brilliant. After all, these same points can get you 2 to 5 cents per point value on premium flights. So surely cruises would be similar, right? Wrong. Here's a real example that'll make you cringe. A 7-night Caribbean cruise costing $1,674 in cash required 239,143 United miles. That's just 0.7 cents per mile in value. You'd literally get better value paying cash and using those miles for a business class flight to Europe. Airlines price cruises in miles based on retail costs, not wholesale rates, which destroys the value proposition. It's like buying a car at full MSRP when everyone else is getting dealer discounts. The exception? Some international airline programs offer better cruise redemption rates, but they're rare and often restricted to specific routes or dates. For most travelers, this path leads to buyer's remorse. So where should you actually focus those hard-earned points? Here's where the math gets beautiful. Instead of using points on the cruise itself, use them for everything around the cruise. Book your flights to the departure port with points. Stay in hotels before and after with points. And pay cash for the cruise when you find a good deal. Let me show you the numbers. Round-trip flights from Chicago to Miami for a cruise departure might cost $400 in cash or 25,000 Chase points, transferring to United. That's 1.6 cents per point value, already better than most portal rates. Add a pre-cruise hotel night that costs $200 in cash or 15,000 Hyatt coins, transferred from Chase, and you're getting 1.33 cents per point value. Total point cost, 40,000 points for $600 worth of travel expenses. That leaves Sarah's cruise at $2,400 cash. But she's only spent 40,000 of her 200,000 points while getting excellent redemption value. This strategy also gives you booking flexibility. Found a last-minute cruise deal? Your flights and hotels are already booked with points, so you can jump on cash cruise discounts without worrying about coordinating multiple bookings. But what if you're loyal to a specific cruise line? Cruise line co-branded cards create an interesting dynamic. Royal Caribbean's card lets you redeem 25,000 points for a companion cruise fare or 30,000 points for $300 off celebrity cruises. Norwegian's card offers similar benefits with their Latitudes Rewards program. These cards make sense if you cruise frequently with the same line and want to earn points on cruise spending that other cards will bonus. The redemption rates aren't spectacular, usually around 1 cent per point, but they often come with perks like priority boarding, specialty restaurant credits, or cabin upgrades that add hidden value. The downside? You're locked into one cruise ecosystem. If Carnival has a killer deal, but you've got 50,000 Royal Caribbean points, think of these cards as relationship commitments. Great if you found the one. Limiting if you like to play the field. This brings us to an unexpected player in the cruise game. Before we dive into hotel programs, quick thanks to Pamoja Safaris for supporting the channel. Just like maximizing safari value requires strategic planning, cruise point optimization needs the same attention to detail. Smart travelers always seek the best value, whether it's in the Serengeti or the Caribbean. Marriott offers 2 cruise redemption options that sound intriguing, but require careful analysis. Their Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection bookings cost 180,000 points for a $1,000 savings, while their General Cruise with Points program offers 0.4 cents per point value. The math rarely works in your favor. Those 180,000 Marriott points could get you 3 to 4 nights at premium properties worth $1,500 to $2,000, making the cruise redemption a poor value. However, if you have more points than vacation time, or if you're specifically interested in ultra-luxury cruise experiences that aren't available elsewhere, these programs have a place. World of Hyatt occasionally offers cruise partnerships too, usually with better value than Marriott, but still below their hotel redemption rates. Use these as last resorts, or when you specifically want access to exclusive experiences. So, with all these options, how do you choose? Here's your step-by-step strategy. First, find the cruise you want and note the cash price. Second, calculate the point cost through each available method. Third, determine the cents per point value for each option. Fourth, consider booking flexibility and perks. Finally, choose the method that gives you the best overall value and experience. Let's return to Sarah's example. Her $2,400 cruise to Chase Portal costs 192,000 points, 1.25 cents per point. Alternatively, she could use 40,000 points for flights and hotels, 1.5 plus cents per point value, and pay $2,400 cash for the cruise. If she has the cash available, the second option gives her better point value and keeps 152,000 points for future use. The golden rule: points are most valuable when used for expenses that are hardest to discount. Cruises go on sale frequently, but business class flights and luxury hotel nights rarely do. Use points where cash discounts are scarce, and pay cash where deals are plentiful. The difference between smart and wasteful point redemptions isn't complicated. It's about doing the math before you click book. These 6 strategies give you the framework to evaluate every option and choose the one that maximizes your hard-earned rewards. If this breakdown helped you see cruise points in a new light, hit that like button and subscribe for more travel reward strategies that actually work. I've put detailed calculators and booking guides for each redemption method in the description below. Your future self will thank you for checking them out. What's your biggest cruise booking challenge? Drop it in the comments and I'll tackle it in a future video. Remember, the best cruise experiences come from smart planning, not just deep pockets.